Right, Ben here, joined by Dave Hicks again, and now we're going to talk about pudding. So I'm going to get Dave just to explain to you kind of how it works, get him to show you the process, how he puts the stick in, how he puts the compression in, what goes on, and we've got his robot here, which is going to give us a consistency, and this is the big thing. We're going to measure it in a kind of real well condition, so we've not set it up perfectly. For some reason he's let me kind of do some of it, I don't know why, but which obviously means it's not going to be perfect, but we don't want perfect numbers. This is about consistency, and the whole thing about with your putting as well, it's about consistency in what the putter's doing, but also more importantly, it's about what the ball's doing. So when we're looking at this, what we're looking for Procore to do is to improve what the putter's doing, more consistency in terms of, but it's energy transfer to the ball and what the ball's then doing. Are the spins better? Is it launching better? Is it going to make me a better putter? I've talked about this on the difference it's had on mine and the improvement I got from a putter which I couldn't find better than. I made better, which is quite a statement, but it's much more fun when I use it, and it's even more so. It's harder to get another putter now because it's going nowhere. But go on in. So we've got this frame out. Talk us through the frame first, and then we'll talk about kind of how Procore goes in, what it how you do it.
Yep. Okay. Right. So we've got a putting robot here, A-frame, fully adjustable, as you can see. The putter's on there, it swings, there's an electromagnet, so it makes it very precise. So it's actually set back at this position, just show you quickly. And then it's released into the ball automatically, so there's no human element that comes in, everything's consistent. What we're looking for from this device, we've now got the Quintic system here, which is monitoring both the putter and the ball performance. And we're looking to see what happens at impact with the ball, with and without Procore. So we start off with no Procore in there. We take shots or putts out in the middle of the putter. We then move it to the toe, move it to the heel, and see what the difference is. And Ben will run you through the figures that he's looking for from that. We then put Procore in, and I can show you roughly how we do that. Procore is now on the end of this fitting tool, and it's simply put down into the shaft, it's compressed in there and then left in there. Then we go through a 6-shot routine, analysing each position, toe, centre, heel, with and without Procore. And then I think over to you to...
Yeah, the big thing we're going to do here, it's all about consistency. So it's all about making sure we're repeating what's going on. And obviously the putter with the frame's always in the same spot. We move the ball around, we've put little marks on the carpet as well. So everything is exactly the same. Same ball each time, just to make sure consistency. The one thing I'm going to talk about, which is actually quite important here, is obviously it's mounted into a frame here. It's not just stuck into the metal. So in order to kind of make it more realistic, more like golfers' hands, Dave did something a little bit special when they did some testing with it up at Sheffield University.
That's right.
What have you done with it to make it more like a golfer's hand?
Well, what we've done is, because otherwise it would be too rigid in the frame, so we've actually put a polymer in here. So we've injected polymer into the handle section, which basically mimics a human's tendons, bone structure and vibration. So it makes sure it's the same, as close as possible to a human actually holding the putter, rather than a robot being all clamped up metal to metal or wood to wood, which wouldn't be any good.
Which is a really important point, because obviously really a lot of stuff when people do robot testing, the shaft grip's fixed into this clamp which holds it dead solid, can't move because it's all metal and it's compression clamped in. This is allowing that kind of, could say, it's not so much freedom but realisticness on what would happen on the force as it's swinging if it's a real person. And that's the way we're going to get, could say, some more, you'd say, correct data or relevant data to you as golfers as well in terms of what's going on. Is the understanding what's going on here with the polymer around it, just creating that kind of, I call it softness. Dave might correct me on it, but realistic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the process of no Procore, middle contact, heel contact, toe contact, and then with the Procore, middle contact, toe contact, heel contact. And what we're going to just give you a nice brief overview. So we're not going to go mad on it. I will go more into detail, and we'll get Dave back for another video where we'll talk about the detail on all the data in Quintic. Obviously we pull lots of numbers and lots of stuff, what's going on there. But we're going to hit some parts and then just talk about a little brief overview and kind of what we find.